Hey guys, it is Kayla Waller with Waller Adventures, and lately I've been seeing a certain question asked all over Facebook lately, which is, what cooler is the best cooler? Well, today I am going to answer that question for you based on my experience and my opinions. So stick around and check it out. So lately when I go on Facebook and all the other social medias and check in the little groups that I'm part of and just on my Facebook in general, I see people asking the question, what is the best cooler to use for camping, for fishing, and just travel in general. So I'm going to show you my 3 coolers that I use all the time. I'm going to tell you what I use them for, how I use them, and kind of compare and contrast to other brands that I've used before. So this will be kind of a quote-unquote review video for these 3 coolers to a certain extent. But just so that we are clear, I am not sponsored by any of these coolers that I'm about to show you. This is just from my personal experience and my opinion. So let's get to it. Alright, so my first go-to cooler is, don't make fun of it, I know you will, the Styrofoam cooler. It has not failed me yet. It holds ice really well. You may not think it will, or it doesn't look like it does, but it does. So you can get these anywhere like Walmart, even gas stations sell these. Fishing places like bait shops, things like that sell them. But you can't go wrong with these at all. I actually took this camping. You might be able to see it. I think you can for a split second in the camping video. I had drinks in my Styrofoam cooler, and when I get to the other coolers I will explain my theory behind this whole thing. But this thing is great. I have actually hauled venison, frozen venison from North Carolina to Florida in one of these, and it stayed frozen. So that is the pros of this cooler. The cons are, it's very fragile, it's Styrofoam, it tears easily, as you can see up here. That's the only thing, you gotta be really careful with them and not to make sure to tear them. But other than that, like I said, it holds ice really well. And it's kept things cool. So when I'm traveling, and I do travel with a Styrofoam cooler, and I do have stuff in it, like drinks and ice, I do put it in my back seat, and I will put a towel or a thin blanket over it just to keep it cool longer. And that way when the sun is coming through my windows, it's not beaming down on it and heating it up. It's just an extra layer from the heat getting into it. Yeah, this is one of my favorite coolers to use for fishing, camping, traveling, any other adventures that I have. So the next cooler that I love to use is the trusty dusty Igloo cooler. Yes, I actually got this back when I was in college. The reason why I got it in college is because my college was 2 hours away from home, and when I came home for like Christmas and holidays and the summer, I would bring stuff back and forth, like my coffee creamers and veggies that I was feeding the guinea pigs with, things like that, and I would just put it in here and put ice, or I put a frozen water bottle or one of those frozen packs in here to keep everything cool, and it works really great. You can see the top just pops off. You can see inside of it. It's got your handles. It's pretty lightweight, but I do love this. But since I have upgraded my coolers, I have kind of demoted this cooler into my bait fishing cooler, because one, on top of it, it's got a ruler. So while I'm fishing, I can just throw my fish up there and measure it. As you've seen in my fishing videos, I've done that. Those are the pros of this cooler. I really don't have any cons against this. It holds ice really well. I don't have a problem with ice melting. I just do the whole, I cover it up trick while I'm driving, so that way the sun doesn't melt anything in here. I haven't put any venison in here before that I can remember. I do put fish in here. When I go fishing, I put a bag and a half of ice in here and maybe some frozen water bottles. And I put my bait in here. And then while we're fishing, I put my fish in here and bleed them out while they're in here. So it keeps them pretty cool and it keeps them frozen, because by the time I get home, I have to like crank the fish back, you know, straight so I can fillet them. And I have filleted fish and put the fillets in here, and it's kept them cool as well. But I don't really have any cons on this cooler. I was worried that traveling that the lid would fly off, but it's pretty secure on there. I gotta kind of pull it to get it off. But yeah, so this is one of my other favorite coolers to use. I did not take this camping with me because, like I said, it's my bait cooler. And right now, it kind of smells a mixture of pine saw and shrimp. So I try to keep this just for bait and just for fishing, because I have raw shrimp, you know, finger mullet, things like that in here. Even though I do clean it out, but still just the thought of having raw fish and raw shrimp and stuff like that in here is kind of weary. But yeah, other than that, it's a great cooler. I love it. It's easy to clean. It's small, compact. I do know Igloo sells bigger coolers, some on wheels, things like that. I do have an Igloo Blue. It's not really a cooler, but it just holds water, and I have it for camping, as well as like a extra backup water if I ever need it. So before I talk about my favorite coolers, I'm going to tell you and show you what I pack my coolers with. So I normally use normal ice, like you get out of the ice machine, out of your freezer. Or what I have done before is I put my fish bait in the Igloo cooler, and I'll put a frozen water bottle in there. I put a couple of them. Or I'll put one of these. I actually got this out of a, what was it, the fresh meal thing that everyone, that, you know, you see the commercials. It's like if you buy, you know, you can buy 10 meals and da-da-da. This came in that box, and I just saved it, and it is really good. I have these big ones, and I also have the small ones, but I'll throw one of these and maybe a couple of frozen water bottles in there, and it will hold it until I can get to the gas station and actually buy a bag of ice. But sometimes I'll buy a bag of ice and use half of it, and then pack the rest of it in my cooler, and then once it's melted, I'll just top it off. Or if I get to where I'm going, I can get more ice. But like while we were camping, I actually bought 3 bags of ice, and I used them. And then the next day I bought some more ice. I bought like, I think it was 2 bags I bought, and I just kept topping it off because the coolers kept the water that was in it cold. So the water, and it just kept everything cold still. Alright, so my all-time favorite cooler that I have recently found in the past year is the Engel cooler. I love this cooler. So, I know everyone has heard of Yetis. I have some experience with Yetis. We have a Yeti cooler at work that we keep in our cart, and I do like it, but it's heavy. It is really heavy, and the things on the front, the rubber pieces, they like to disintegrate in this Florida sun, so you have to replace them a lot. Also, I mean, I love their the Yeti tumblers. They work really great. I have a ton of them. I know my uncle has, he's got a Yeti cooler, and my cousin does, and he says he likes it. He just wish it wasn't so heavy. So I did some research, and I found these coolers, and they are the same exact thing. They are insulated. They are tightly sealed, as you can see. But what I like about these the most is it's got its own strap, you can see on the side where it goes in, and it goes through the bottom like so, and it goes around, and you can carry it, and it's not that heavy. I wouldn't say it's light where you can throw it around, and I wouldn't say it's heavy where you're just like, oh my god, this is a heavy cooler. I mean, it's got some weight to it, but it's not going to kill you, if that makes sense. And it also has a little handle on it, but you can get these in any color. I chose seafoam green because that's my favorite color. But as you can see in the front, it's got these cool latches, and I like these because they're metal. They're metal, and they grab the little lip, and you can pull it down, and you know it's not going anywhere, which is really cool. And the cool part is Engel also sells this little piece, and this little piece. They sell, I think they sell the handles. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they sell straps, and they also sell the little hinges back here. So if it ever breaks, you can replace it yourself, and you don't have to like send it back, all that. You can do that with Yeti too. They'll send you replacements as well. But as you can see inside of it, it's got a little tray. When last time I went to North Carolina, I used my little tray. I put my coffee on it and stuff like that. And you can see inside of it, it's a little dirty right now. I need to clean it again. But yeah, it is 30 quarts. So you can get them in any size that you want. With this cooler, I haven't had anything negative. Like I said, it's insulated, so it holds the ice a pretty good while. I took this camping with me. I'm going to explain to you what I was going to tell you earlier with the styrofoam cooler. So, I personally don't like dealing with big, huge coolers because I don't want to throw my back out. I don't want to sit there and struggle with it. I don't want to sit there and yank and pull. So, what I do is, my styrofoam cooler I had drinks in because you know you're going to be getting drinks a lot. And that lid's going to be opening a lot. This cooler, I had veggies in it. You can see in my camping video of me cooking, I would have my veggies, I had my eggs in here, I had butter, things like that in here that I know I'm going to be in and out of, but not a lot. And the other cooler that I'm going to show you, the last cooler I'm going to use, I kept my meat in it. So that way I can keep it sealed and locked tight, and I don't have to go in it as much. And so that way I would keep my meat as cold as possible. And they all held up. All the coolers, these Engel coolers hold up really well, holding ice. Like I would compare these to Yeti coolers. They are really awesome. I love them. And they're cheap. They're not like dirt cheap, but they're cheaper than Yetis. I think this one was $130 roughly, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's not going to break the bank, but if you're looking for a good cooler for traveling, fishing, things like that, this is a good cooler. So speaking of Engel coolers, we got a mini one. It is 7.5 quarts. This is actually camera operator Jen's lunchbox. I got it for her for Christmas. It has the same stuff as the styrofoam green one, the 30 quart one. It's got a little handle. It's got the strap with it as well. You can open it up. It's got the same locking mechanisms. But it's so cute and tiny. And it's also got a little tray in it. You can see inside of it. But yeah, Jen loves using this for work. She takes it to work every day, has her lunch in it for work. She normally doesn't put it in the refrigerator. She will either put like a frozen water bottle or a small ice pack in there, and it keeps her stuff cool while she's at work. But I'm not saying she leaves it outside, but she'll leave it in her, by her little locker and her little tech room. So it's not in the fridge, it's not outside, it's inside. But it keeps everything cool for her, things like that. But this is a neat little lunchbox. She even got an Auburn sticker on it. But yeah, and a Ahsoka sticker, you know, Star Wars. But this is a nice little cooler for work. Alright, so the last cooler slash live well I'm going to show you. Ooh, it is the Engel live bait cooler. It is ideal for minnows, shrimp, and other live bait. It is 19 quarts, and I love this. It is an awesome live well. I've also used this as a cooler. I have put frozen venison in this and brought it back from North Carolina to Florida, and it's kept it frozen. This is the cooler that I put my meat in when I went camping with Audrey, and it worked really great as a cooler because it's insulated as well. But inside of it has the same latches, the same handle, and the same strap on it. But the difference is with this one, it's got a lot of goodies in it. So your live well will come with a bubble pump. It is for Engel coolers. You can charge this in your car, or you can put batteries in it, and it has its little air tube. Mine's a little dirty because I've been using it, and it's got its little thing at the end for the bubbles. But what is cool about this, as you can kind of see already, it's got this little mesh pouch thing inside of it. So you can see this is what it looks like inside. Then you can put the mesh in there, and it sits in it like so. But this is cool because you can put this in there, and then you put your shrimp, minnows, whatever you want to put in it. And as you are getting your bait ready, you can just whoop, and then grab your shrimp and put it back. Just an FYI, if you are fishing with live bait and you have bug spray or sunscreen on your hands, you don't want to dip your hand right in the water where your bait is in, because it will contaminate that water and it will kill your live shrimp, live bait, whatever you're using. Just a tip on that. So that's why I like this. You can pull it out and you're not contaminating your water. You can put it right back. But I do have a small net as well. You've seen me use that. I go in and dip it out. Either way. So if you look on the top, it's got this little circle on it. That's where you put this through. And it's got a little lip on the side. So you want to put your bubbles right there, and it sits all nice and perfect. And then inside, I'll flip it around. You can pull it out like so, and it comes out. It's got a little plug. So the only thing you have to do is put this through here like so. You spin it around, and then it comes out like that, all nice and pretty. Put that back on it. So you can see it sits in there all nice and pretty right here at the top. All you have to do is close it, then you can lock it up like so. Like that, so it keeps all your live bait all nice and cool, and you don't have to worry about getting this stuck in your cooler. And you just turn it on. You can kind of hear it. It's got low and fast, which is really nice. So I love using this as a live bait well, and also love using this as a cooler. It works great. I know Engel also sells live bait coolers with the fishing pole holders on the sides of them, and they sell them bigger with more fishing pole holders on them, things like that. Alright guys, so those are the coolers that I use for fishing, camping, adventuring, and traveling. You got the Engel coolers, and you got the Igloo, and you got the Styrofoam one. So like I said, all these coolers are great to use. I haven't had any trouble with these. I know these are a little cheaper This one's a little more expensive. I think this was $150 because it's a live well and it came with the little bubble machine thingy on the side, and it's got the little net in it. But like I said, you can get that styrofoam cooler cheap and it works. I got this one from I got the Igloo one right here. I actually got it from Walmart. So it was probably $50. And these are the most expensive ones that I have. And these are right up there with the Yeti coolers. Just the difference is they're a little cheaper. And there you have it. So like I said before, I am not sponsored by Engel. I'm not sponsored by Igloo, nor the company that makes the styrofoam coolers, whatever that company is. This is just from my personal experience and my opinions of having coolers all my life, I guess. Of, you know, having coolers for fishing, camping, even hunting, traveling. Hunting being carrying back venison, frozen venison meat from North Carolina to Florida. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It will help our channel grow. And if you are subscribed to the channel, we greatly appreciate it. We appreciate you spreading the word of Waller Adventures. And make sure you comment on a video as well and hit that notification button so you can get notified on when we drop more videos. Also check us out on Instagram and Facebook. On Facebook we have a little shop where you can get the Beast Box from Road Magnetics and you can get the Entry and Cookbook. In the description below we have a link to our bigger shop where you can get cool Waller Adventures merch. So thanks for watching. See you soon.